여기가 그냥 땀
Now, Prince the Mighty Merino, known to be the #1 sheep of the world. Now, what makes him that #1 sheep of the world is this right here, his fleece. Now, that there, it is as smooth as silk, but very, very expensive. Used for such things as men's suits, ladies' garments, originating from Spain. Now, over 2.5 million farmed here throughout New Zealand. So the pink nose, the white feet, tells us he's a high, dry condition sheep. Now we're moving on to the #1 sheep breed here in New Zealand. It's Monarch the Romney. Now, where were these people from England? Down here, you two should be very excited. This is your sheep. Now, this sheep, he originally came out of England in 1853 from the Romney, Marshall and Kent to allow the New Zealand farmers to have a 2-income sheep. One for his quality fleece and 2 for that quality export lamb. Now we're going to go down to the South Island. It's the #2 sheep of the world. It is Sterling the Corriedale. Now this sheep, what are you doing? Get up there. Sterling, next one. Man, you see that? He can't read. He could be from Ireland. He's all house bred right here in New Zealand. Now he is a cross between that Mighty Merino and the English Leicester. So this guy here, he put New Zealand on the map as a farming nation. Now over 275 million of this breed are now farmed worldwide. Now we're into the borders of Scotland. It's Jimmy, our feisty little Chevy. Now, where will you find these sheep in New Zealand? You will find them in the most ruggedest of hill country terrain. Now, any weather conditions, rain, hail or snow, you will find these little guys on the edge of those cliffs and they'll be looking for that every single last blade of grass. Now we have another little Scotchman. It's Roman the Border Leicester. Now the Border Leicesters, now they are considered to be a prolific breeding sheep, which means every 10 ewes of this breed that have lambs, 9 of them will give the farmer twins, allowing the farmers to achieve 180% lambing. Now the nice open face, nice open legs, that makes it very easy for us sheep shearers. Now here he comes, New Zealand, known to be a hill country place, and here he is, the #1 hill country sheep here in New Zealand. It's Massey the Parrotdale. Now we call this guy here Massey because that's where he was bred, in the lower part of the North Island, just out of Palmerston North at Massey University. So he is a cross between the Romney and the Cheviot. Cross those two gives the New Zealand farmers a 2-income easy care sheep. Now we're moving down back over here to watch out, Chris, watch out! I'll get him. One at a time, girl. Now, do we have any lawyers here in the audience today? Barristers? How about criminals? There's a few hands going up, at least you're honest, sir. You'd recognise these dreadlocks here in the olden days, used to make lawyers and barristers winks. Now we're moving on to the island of Texel, all the way from Holland. Now these sheep came out of quarantine into New Zealand in the early 1980s as a muscle breed. Solid front shoulders, solid hindquarters, all muscle. So we now use him as a terminal sire across all these other breeds you will see up here today to help improve our New Zealand export lamb trade. Now we're going into South Africa. It's Brucey the Dorper. Now the Dorper is created back in the 1930s, introduced here to New Zealand in the mid-1980s as a meat breed. Now these sheep here, they are also very unique. Out of the 19 breeds you will see up here today, this little guy here is the only one we won't have to shear, as the fleece on this animal is self-shedding, known to be an extremely easy care sheep, but not too good brush shearers on payday. Now here comes my little mate back up on stage. It's Rugby the Drysdale. Now the Drysdales, they are considered to be a fibre sheep. One moment, won't be a moment, Rugby, excuse me buddy. Just need a piece of this. There we go. Now this here, it is exactly like human hair, coarse, straight and very, very strong. Now here in New Zealand, we export all this fleece into countries like India and Nepal, where it is used to make their quality rugs and mats. We've got another show. Now here they come, the Dawson brothers, Samson and Ozzy. Now the Dawson horn, one of the oldest sheep known to mankind, over 5 centuries old. Now these two sheep here, they are also very unique. They will give the farmers 2 crops of lambs every year, autumn and spring, where all these other breeds are only capable of giving us 1. The only downfall of these ones are these things here, his horns. Very hard on our shearers, hard on the farmer, hard on the sheepdogs. 45 years ago, 2 Australian farmers, 1 Kiwi farmer, they got together and bred this guy here for us, the Pole Dorser. Now pole simply means to bring the horns away from these animals. Exactly the same sheep, except this guy here, he's so much easier to look after. Now we've got the Blues brothers. It's Jake and Elwood. Now the Suffolk, he is known to be the premier meat sheep of the world. Now you'll find this breed of sheep in countries like United States of America, Canada and yes, even Japan. Now in some of those countries, he is capable of growing up to 200 kilos of body weight. Now in the 1960s, when meat became expensive, we had to downsize for this sheep. So we gave ourselves the South Suffolk. And how did we get him? We crossed the Suffolk over this little boy coming up here now, Captain the South Down. Now the South Down, he was one of the first sheep ever exported out of the UK into New Zealand. Now I am pleased to say as a Kiwi, we now export this breed back there by the thousands. And why? He doesn't like talking about this too much. He is known as the sweetest tasting meat in the world. Don't you tell him, man, because he doesn't know. Now last of the meat breeds on this side, we have Raja the Dorset Down. Very high front shoulders, very long deep carcass, but these sheep here are extremely low in fat and cholesterol. His lambs, his progeny, very quick maturing. So we now use him as a terminal sire over the mighty Merinos. And last but not least, who do we have? Charlie Brown. Now we have over 45 million sheep farmed here throughout New Zealand. Now 30,000 are still coloured. And why do we keep them? We keep them so this fleece here, it can be used for those natural homemade garments and for spinning. So on behalf of Chris and myself, we're proud to present to you today 19 champion rams. Thank you. Well, from here guys, I'll pass you on to Carl and he'll do all the rest of the work.
Hey, good afternoon folks. Now I'm dressed like a typical New Zealand sheep shearer, singlet on the top so my arms aren't restricted, a pair of denim jeans which are double lined on the inside of the leg. Now this just protects my legs from any grease, laminate or thistles or thorns that may be in the wool. And on my feet, well, these are felt moccasins. Now this just gives me stability on the shearing cord and also helps me move around each sheep just a little bit quicker. Now, which one of these sheep would you like me to shear for you today? The merino. Good. Those of you who would like me to shear the merino this afternoon, put your hands in the air. Well, there's a fair few of you. Well, bad luck. I have a fresh short sheep just here. It was booked in 6 months ago. I'll just grab her. Here she comes. How we pull them up in the shearing shed. I'll drag her around. There we are. Get her nice and comfortable. Now it's very important in the New Zealand shearing sheds to make sure that our sheep are nice and comfortable. So we'll give you a bit of a wave. A bit of a smile. Now you might notice she has no teeth at all on her top gum. She only has teeth on her bottom gum. So I can slot my finger into her mouth and she won't bite down to that whatsoever. She'll rather spit it out. Now the style of shearing that I'll be doing for you this afternoon was created by a gentleman the name of Guthrie Bowen. Now this is the same style of shearing practice right around the world now, and it's been around since the early 1950s. Now this here in my hand, this is what we call a handpiece. Solid steel, a 13-tooth comb, the 4th tooth cutter on top, which slides back and forth, cutting the wool. Right. Here we go, first blow on the belly. Coming towards the underline, the bottom side of the sheet. Bit of a haircut. Going up the most difficult blow in shearing turns, the blind blow, going up their neck. Coming towards what we call the boomerang. Coming down the last side now, and shearing turns the money side. There we have it, one really short sheet. So how do you think she's feeling? Cold, embarrassed? What we'll do with it, we'll stick her outside, she'll get a belly full of grass, that'll generate heat from the inside out, and also in the next 24 hours, her skin thickness will double. And also the laminin that's naturally in her skin will also help her warm up. Now there are several buttons on a sheep that just makes the sheep shearer's job just a little bit more easier. When she brings the neck back like this, it causes a lot of wrinkles. So what we do is push a little button in here, and then the egg just pops straight out. Just like that. The same with her back leg, her bottom flank. She brings that back, we apply a little bit of pressure, and then the egg just pops straight out. Just like that. We'll say goodbye now, and we'll see you in 6 months. Now, a shearer like myself here in New Zealand will shear anywhere between 250 to 350 sheep in an 8-hour day. Now we get paid by the sheep, every sheep we shear, around $1.50 to $1.70. Now the world record for shearing a sheep that size was done by a gentleman the name of Rodney Sutton. Now he shore around 721 done in a 9-hour day. Now that is equal to running a triathlon and that's around 40 seconds per sheep. Now also in the shearing sheds we have what we call browsers, sheep hands or wool technicians that help the shearers during the day, and it just makes their job just a little bit easier. And what they do is bring the wool over to a sorting table like this and sort it into two different grades, the A grade and the B grade. Now this here is the B grade wool. Now this is used strictly for dyeing, it's the underside of the sheep. Now that's where they lie down in the grass and then the dirt gets badly stained. So what they do is they dye it into dark singlets like this, and also my woolen socks. Now it's worth around 70 to 80 cents a kilo. But you're not here to see this, folks. You're here to see the A grade wool. So what I'll do here is pass some out. Here we go. Pass it back, pass it around. That's it. Here you go, man. There we go. Pass it right back so everyone can get a feel of it. Here we go, Sam. That's right. Now you scrunch this wool up in your hand. That's right, quite tightly, and then release your hand. You find the wool bounces straight back to its natural form. Now this is why we use this A grade wool for carpets. Now it's worth around Now what they do with this wool is they put it into a machine called the presser, and they press that into a bale which will weigh around 200 kgs. Now what they do with their bale is they take it to an auction and auction it off. But we're going to do something a little bit different here this afternoon. That one freshly short Romney sheep I short wears, we're going to take her and put her into auction. Now I'm the auctioneer, and all you guys out here in front of me are the buyers. Now all you have to do is raise your hand in the air, and that's classed as a bid. But if you're a bit shy, well, twitch your nose, pull your ear, any sudden movement at all is classed as a bid. How's here in New Zealand? Now I have two buckets here. What do we use these for? Dead right. One for the milk. And what do we use the second one for? Syndanol. Not quite right, sirs, just in case you make any mistakes. Now what I'm needing are 4 volunteers from the audience to come up on stage and milk the cow that's never milked the cow before. Yes, sir, come on. Yep, come on. Yes, come on now. Yes, ma'am, come on. Here they come. This one against the wall.
Hey, just bring him.
Here we go. I did have one more, was it? No? Decided to sit down. Here, come up, gentlemen. Here he comes. He's got more energy than I have. Okay, right up there. Okay. Now, out of respect. For our cow, we just warm our hands up. That's it. Warm our hands right up down there, madam. Warm our hands up. Bend your knees. One hand out front. Cup it. No, don't start thinking like that too. There we go. Up, down. Up, down. Okay, just wait there. I'll just show you what she does. As you can see, 1, 2. Right, Sam, where are you from? Oh, look at this. He must be the joker of the crowd. Right? There we go. Give me his face. There we go. I want to see you waving your hand. Certificate of utterance. Well done. Nice speeches. After that, your name is Linda. Where are you from, Linda? Holland. Okay. You're lucky this afternoon. We've got chocolate milk and vanilla milk. What flavour do you like? You enjoy chocolate. Okay. You want to come on the far side here? Linda, around here. Yeah. Stop there. This is your chocolate. Round here. It's alright. Come back around here. Yeah. Just bend down slightly. And just
vomit.
And a certificate in nuts. Well, afternoon then. How are you? Where are you from? Okay, Mary, come over here. It's all right, good. Here we go. Well, easy as that, Mary. Here we go. You're welcome. Good afternoon, Ben. How do you do? Where you from? Japan? Meet you up? Yeah? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's it, that's it. Well done. Oh, here we go. Beautiful. Yeah, you're in here, nice and job, well done. White. Carl. Here he comes. Can you grab the stick out of the dog troll sheet? Mike. Sit. Now this here is Mike. Now he is known as the New Zealand strong-eyed heading dog. So these dogs here, they originally started off as the Border Collie. Now the pioneers of New Zealand, they put Whippet and Pointer across those Border Collies to give these dogs here a smoother coat and to make them that much taller and faster to suit the conditions here in New Zealand. Now I have 3 sheep. I'm going to bring out this dog for you today to demonstrate to you how this dog actually works. I'd just like to warn you all first, unfortunately, due to injury, we've had to bring 3 new sheep on stage. Now this morning, they came out that door, they saw this dog and they jumped right off stage. Landed right there, man. Very messy. Now if these sheep do jump off stage again, can we please trip them, lasso them, rugby tackles, and I'll be straight off stage to help you get these sheep, and we're going to put them straight back into that box. A little bit nervous about this. Believe me, these 3 sheep, they cut loose this morning. Excuse me, ma'am. Can you come and stand here with me, please? You look like the most honest lady I can see in here today. Thank you, ma'am. Stand right here for me. Thank you. What is your name? Jude. Where are you from? California, United States of America. That's right, ma'am. I'd like you to stand there, ma'am, and put your hands in the air. Up. It's not the first time, is it, ma'am? I didn't think so. Now, ma'am, if these 3 sheep come out this door and they go to jump off stage, I need you to push them back on here for us. Good. You know it, man. United States of America, put your hands up high. Are you ready, man? On the count of 3, okay? 1, 2, 3, here they come. You should have seen the look on your face, man. Thank you very much. You may sit down. Now, we cannot have sheep on stage because they will jump off. So this is just a quick insight to show you exactly how these dogs work their stock. Sit, Mike. Go right. Steady, steady, steady. Go right. Sit. Sit. Stay there. Sit, Mike. Sit. Walk up. Now see how this dog, he is only using his eye. These dogs, they never bark at the stop, they just use their eye. That is exactly why we've named them the strong-eyed heading dog. Walk up. Walk up. Walk up. Go left. Now 5 minutes after this inside show has been completed, you are all more than welcome. Head out those main doors, go straight across the car park, and I'm going to be out there
demonstrating to you how we do a real New Zealand dog trial. There will be 3 sheep, 4 obstacles, and no tricks involved. Sit, sit. Getting very close to this dog's afternoon tea time. And I can guarantee you right now, he is now looking at these ducks and he is thinking about KFC. Trust me, he's no vegetarian. So we'll put these ducks away. Go right, Mike. Go right. Walk him up, buddy. Walk him up. Oh, straggler. Sit. I'd say this is a brand new duck looking at this guy. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Sit. Stand. Good boy. Now this here is Gundog. Now he is known as a New Zealand Huntaway. Now true to his name, he is bred to chase the sheep away from the farmer using his noise. So these dogs here, they also started off from the Border Collie. They had Red Setter, Labrador and Bloodhound put across them to give us these big working dogs. So we will quickly demonstrate to you exactly how he works. He's only just warmed up. Now as you can see, with this dog's noise, now he is capable of moving over 3,000 sheep all by himself. And how does he do it? Because as you can all see behind me, sheep are absolutely petrified of this big dog. Oh boy. Now this does happen on our farms. Sheep do stop. So we train these dogs here to do what we call backing. They will start from the back of the mob. They will run across the sheep's backs to the front. They get the mob moving, do the same coming back to us. Does not hurt our dogs. Does not hurt our sheep. So would you like to see a demonstration of that here today? Yeah. Okay. Come on boys, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, and up! It's not happening. Come on boys, let's go. Got the fans on, you should be cooler than usual. Come on Monarch, on your feet buddy, quickly. If you don't hurry up, I'm going to send you back to England. On your feet, let's go. We're paying you by the hour. Takes a little while to get from the horn to the brain, so we'll come back to him. Come on, Brucey, Duke, you signed the contract, buddy. On your feet. Let's go, guys. Let's go. Come on, Roman. Come on, Aussie. Let's go, buddy. Sterling, on your feet. Quickly. Come on. Thank you. Hello. Prince, wake up. Let's go. That's it, buddy. Rugby, on the count of 3, mate, we've been practicing. Are you ready? 1, 2, 2.5, 2 3/4, 3. There we go. You got it up. So what we're going to do now, guys, is show you what we call backing. inside show has been completed, you are all more than welcome, okay? Make your way up on stage. Come and sit by these guys here, get some photos you'll not get anywhere else in the world. The ram's very friendly, and so are the dogs. Now, before the end of the show, I need 4 more volunteers. Okay, we've got this young girl here, she's keen to come up. We've got one there. That's it. Oh, this little girl here. That lady over there, we're going to take that young child there in the green. Those 4 people, make your way up on stage. Thank you. That's it, man. Come on up here. We've got our 4. We'll come along here. We've got an extra on this. Come here. That's it. Come this way. Come this way, Mum. No. Don't just go sending kids up. 4 volunteers, not 24. We can't handle more than 4. Come this way, guys. This is the 4 I selected. Okay, those 3 can choose. Their parents want to send them up. It's okay. Hold your bottle down, mate. Wonderland. They're running away. We got Wonderland there. One there. Hold your bottle up in the air like this. Here we go. Look at these lads go.